Hi, I'm Retta Putignano.
And I'm Kevin King, and we're from Create Your Reel.
Today's video is going to feature a couple of reels that we have done, and we're going to focus on range, which is very important.
And this was really difficult because we've had hundreds of clients and hundreds of wonderful, wonderful reels, so it was really hard to narrow this down to two, but that's all we have time for.
We're going to focus on a little bit of what casting is looking for in range. So you should always know what your casting is. Give casting a good range of what you can play. And then there's always that one thing where you're kind of stretching and you're helping them see you in a different light, helping them see you in a way that maybe they wouldn't immediately imagine, but it's something that you can definitely do.
And these are two reels where we feel like they had that one scene where I never imagined that person playing that character until they convinced us with their reel.
Yeah, so the first person we're going to watch is Adrian Flowers, one of our clients from about 3 years ago, one of our first clients.
Exactly, and still one of the funniest scenes we shot.
So let's watch Adrian.
No, not porn. You know what? I'm checking the resilience of our firewalls against the adult content security protocols. I don't even know how I got onto this site. I was not even. This site should definitely be put on our block list. Disgusting. Are you hungry?
I've seen my fair share of fake IDs, but this one definitely takes the cake. You mind stepping out of the vehicle, Mr. Chang?
You want to lock me up, white bread? Lock me up. I'm safer locked up here than dealing with T-Luck on the streets. Do you know this guy? He sees all, he knows all. That's one omnipotent, crazy-ass motherfucker.
So in that first scene with Adrian at the computer getting busted in the office.
And that was me drinking a cup of coffee.
As the boss. First and foremost, we get to see that he has great comedic timing.
He does. He definitely does. And what's great is that you see the comedic timing with just him.
Right.
A lot of people say, oh, we need a scene with another person to really show my comedic timing back and forth. But as an editor, I do the comedic timing in something like that. Because I get time from editing and make someone look like they have great comedic timing. But here you see Adrian doing it all by himself.
Right. And because Adrian has a lot of improv background, he and our director Steve kind of went back and forth on that last line, that little button line. So what he came up with, they just kind of kept playing with that last line, and that's what he came up with. So it was kind of different every time, and that's what worked for that scene. It's what made it funny and different every single time. So that was his best take.
Do you want to grab some lunch? Yeah, when we did that, he would do something different every time on that last line, and on that one, it was so hard to hold it because we both, I think, the next second, we both cracked up on that one.
Yeah,
it was very funny.
So then in the second scene, as the officer, that shows casting then that he can play an authority figure. So that's anything from a cop to a teacher to a father. So he's not just someone who's in a uniform for any kind of crime procedural or anything like that. That's not limiting him. That is also just showing that he can play authority.
And that definitely, I would say, is Adrian. That character is definitely him. He's very confident, very smooth.
And a nice guy. Just
very nice guy.
Yeah.
And there he proves it, that he's a nice guy cop.
Yeah.
Which is quite the opposite of the fumbling Chandler-like office scene that you would never see Adrian be in real life.
Right. And then with the last scene, the gangster, that is an absolute
badass Adrian.
Yeah, so that's something that at first glance, that's not something that you would maybe cast him as, but he absolutely sold that because he's such a nice, intelligent guy. You may not see him that way at first.
Yeah, I would never see Adrian as a villain. And that's what we want to do. If you looked at his headshots and you were looking for that gangster type, you would look at clean-cut Adrian, nice Adrian, and you would not imagine that until you saw him playing that character right there.
Right. And then with the writing, that's what we also wanted to do, is we intentionally brought in the word omnipotent with that to bring just a little bit of humor, that maybe he, you know, at one point was this well-educated guy and something happened in his life and, you know, he had to resort to, you know, crime as a way of life, and he still has this history of, you know, being an educated guy, and so that's where the humor came in with that. So, but a great range for Adrian in his reel, and we had a blast working with him. The next reel we are going to watch is from Keisha Scott Hogan, who was a blast to work with.
Very funny.
She wanted to show a range as well, so she did quite a few scenes with us. She did 5. We're just going to watch 3 for the sake of this video. So let's take a look.
Let's just watch them.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, my name's Candy. Let me just stop you right there before you embarrass yourself with all the bad jokes there, Tosh.0. Why don't you just stick to ordering your food and leave the funny stuff to people with talent? Coffee? I put my career on the line taking this case. If the prosecution finds out you lied about our past relationship, they'll have a field day with it, and the chances of winning will be slim to none. Come clean, Michael, or find new counsel. Okay, I admit it. I shouldn't have followed you here. How's I supposed to know your bank was getting robbed today? Excuse me, Mr. Bank Robber, sir. There's been a big misunderstanding. I shouldn't be here. This ain't even my bank. I don't even have a bank. I keep my money in a mattress. I don't even have any money. I'm broke.
All right, so we just watched Keisha Scott Hogan. That first scene, the waitress at the diner, that's pretty much Keisha.
That's Keisha right there.
She wanted to bring in her sarcasm and her wit and her humor first and foremost with that. So that's what the writers wrote for her, and that's what came across in that scene.
Yeah, I mean, she's also a singer, and I know from her website she has all these wholesome shots of her with little chickens and little baby chicks, and she just looks so innocent. And when you meet her, I mean, that is more her. Very, very dry, sarcastic,
Biting,
witty,
very
funny, and you wouldn't know that from a innocent, wholesome photo of Keisha.
Yeah, she's quite fun. Just a good time on set.
Which takes us to the second one, lawyer. Complete opposite. Something I would never see her playing a lawyer.
Yeah, but absolutely believable. You know, it's amazing what just wardrobe and hair and attitude and all of that, just absolutely taken seriously, can totally sell that in any kind of legal drama.
Exactly, and that's what we try to do here. I mean, you really don't know what the scene's about. You know, it's a lawyer talking to somebody. You don't know any of the backstory. The only purpose of that in a demo reel in that scene is to prove that she looks and sounds like a lawyer.
Right.
And that's all we care about.
Absolutely.
And in about 10 or 15 seconds, you believe it.
You get it. That's
Yeah.
all you need. And the last one, in the bank robbery scene, again, her humor comes through. She gets to throw in a little bit of the Southern accent. So she gets to play again with that, and we had a great time. But again, her humor is always, I think, very important. She wants to bring that in, keep that light, and bring in her comedy.
Yeah, and she got to play a character. She got to do a little bit of an accent in that, a little more zany, wacky, memorable. That's one thing I love about our clients coming up with the premises, is that everyone brings something unique. I mean, we could do this over and over again, and we'll get a client coming up with something completely unique, like being stuck with her boyfriend during a bank heist. Totally unique.
Yeah, it's great because everybody has their own concept of how they're seen. Of course, if they have representation, we always encourage them to talk with them first and foremost so that they're on the same page with their reps.
Exactly.
That's very important. But coming up with your own premise gives the actor the control over their career and how they're seen in the industry. So that's really key in the game of this business. So that's what we're happy to offer. So if you are considering putting a demo reel together, we hope that this video has been helpful in thinking about your range and what you can show casting you can play, and also what you want to stretch to show casting, you can play.
Yeah, it's about proving the scenes that they expect you to play, the roles they expect you to play, and showing them something that they didn't know you could play.
Yeah, proving what you can play, what their imagination may not consider. So thanks for watching. This is Retta from Create Your Reel.
And I'm Kevin, and we'll see you soon.
See you next time.